This is the province of combat, and these are the faces of war.
Hey, you ranking rude boy!
Thank y'all. Damn, it's good to see you.
I'm Joel Timmons from Sullivan's Island, South Carolina. I sing and play guitar and play percussion in Soul Driven Train, and I was one of the founding members back in the day.
I'm Russell Clark. I play saxophone and sing in Soul Driven Train.
Ward Buckeaster, Soul Driven Train, trombone, guitar, some vocals.
She made me feel just like a little child. It came as a surprise, and then it looked into my eyes.
I moved to Charleston when I was like 4, and Ward was like the first friend I made riding around my new neighborhood. So we grew up in the same neighborhood together and been running amok ever since, you know.
We met in the middle school band room. I was in 7th grade, they were in 6th grade. And I was on percussion, they were on trombone and saxophone. But then I realized actually like that Ward and my family had gone back before that. His mom taught my oldest sister tap dancing when she was a kid. And my mom took Ward's baby pictures like when he was a little infant.
Came as a surprise, and then it looked into my eyes. I could not hide.
In high school, those guys continued with the band program, and I stuck with choir and soccer and academics and stuff. Didn't do band, but the choir and the band room were adjacent, so we would still sometimes like sneak into a practice room and jam on whatever.
Actually, before that, we did a little summer camp where Ward both took guitar, but obviously Ward continued to play guitar and I did not. But I kind of kicked off the jamming at the house and jamming in the backyard.
We would play at our friends' dad's like backyard boogie and horseshoe tournament, and there was all kinds of like blues bands and occasionally some horn bands, you know, and then we saw like our older brother's band. He used like trumpet, trombone, and sax, and like played like fun, kind of some ska, some rock and roll, kind of pop music, you know, that was like, yeah, okay, these like nerdy band instruments have a good place in rock and roll, and it's like just an exciting live sound, you know.
We just all knew each other growing up in middle school and high school. It was always kind of like, hey man, those are the guys that I like that are doing that. We were kind of all, I don't know, I can't speak for them, but you know, we're like, I'd play with those guys kind of thing. We're like thinking possibly it's even inevitable if we all keep doing this thing, and then maybe, who knows, it just happens, you know.
Like 24 years. Yeah.
Quite a journey.
Yeah, we played some before that, you know, just as friends and stuff. But like started the band kind of our senior year and senior summer, you know, after graduating high school.
Hi, my name is Wes Powers. I'm the drummer in the band Soul Driven Train. I've been with the band around 15 years. I heard a few people playing the drums, and I had a best friend that played drums in school before me, and it was always about the drums, you know. My parents tolerated it very well and encouraged it up to the point where they realized that this might be a full-time thing whenever maybe they were thinking it was you know, a good pastime or something.
And when did it become a full-time thing for you?
I mean, it was a full-time thing for me as soon as I got a drum set, you know, in like what between 7th and 8th grade or something like that, you know.
Middle school seems to be a theme with you guys. Middle school had its effect.
Yeah.
My name is Matt Thompson. I've been playing with the band for about 10 years now. I play bass and do a little bit of singing. I've told this story to these guys before. My dad's a musician, still plays pedal steel and plays guitar and plays a bunch of different instruments, but he definitely was not like I'll show you how to do it. He was like, he would facilitate it. He'd be like, all right, if you want to do something, I'll buy it for you, but I'm not going to teach you anything. You got to figure it out for yourself. So I wanted to learn bass. My brother played guitar, and I was like, well, that'll be, you know, it's either gonna be that or drums, and I don't think my mom wanted me to have drums, so it's gonna be too much noise. So when I went to my dad and I was like, all right, well, I kind of need you to show me this. He gave me gave me this James Taylor album. He was like, you just learn this and you're gonna be completely fine. And that was like where I kind of cut my teeth on bass playing, you know, which was so daunting because you're just like, it's so melodic and outlines the chords so well. I mean, I listen to it now and I'm like, yeah, that's hard, you know. My dad tinkered with guitar and piano and sang. Was always, you know, musical family, but like the learning of instruments. 4th grade or 5th grade summer camp that Russ went to, we went to the same camp, learned guitar. I think we learned 3 chords that year.
My mind is a small island, a few little things you need to understand. There's more eyes on the beach than grains of sand, so take great caution when you lay your hands. Stay far away from the lobster man and watch out for the lobster man.
You know, once you sort of like understand the elemental building blocks of how to make a scale or whatever, you make these patterns on this instrument and this one on this one, and you know, make the sound this way. With enough repetition, you can at least make chords on anything, you know what I mean?
It's funny because we're all from the same town basically, and these guys are just a handful of years older than me, but I remember going to shows of theirs and just absolutely loving the band and always being like, the performances were just so capturing. You know, that's really what I always took away from it. I was like, wow, these guys are just, I think they're entertainers first.
How would you describe your music? I mean, I find it really hard to describe.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I would say, oh, well, just, and I was thinking about other bands. No, I'm not going to pigeonhole you like that.
I don't want to be like too pretentious and say, oh, we live outside of genre and we just interact with the muse, you know, but we try not to put too many restrictions, but we play country music sometimes, we play rock and roll, we play like you said, New Orleans kind of southern boogie. With the horns, we love like Paul Simon, you know, and the Talking Heads, and over time the band has like evolved to like enjoy crowds that dance, you know. So I think like we're like catered towards like rhythm and groove and that kind of thing.
Check it out. Babylon system, broken down system, but how we going to survive living as a victim? We got to resurrect protection for the common man. We need to make a plan to serve the lower sense. So come together, brothers, sisters, one and all. With your tongue tied, skinny, show the small. Don't mind you see, we're from the same creation, the one and only motherhood, y'all. So let the power come right to you, and let the music flow right through you. But when the conflict comes your way, the powers of the people, the powers of we, y'all.
What kind of reactions do you feel like you get from being the brass? You know, I mean, throwing the brass right out. I mean, you obviously play guitar, you obviously do that, but when you're throwing the brass at people.
I describe it this way, it's the best description I can come up with. Even if you're a shitty band with horns or a band with shitty horns, you're still in a way more in demand or more unique just because you have horns, you know, so it's good, it's a good thing. It's just so fun, like it's just in some ways rowdier. I don't know what it is about horns, you know, but it's like, I don't know, that's primal, because it's not like all drumming, but it's like, I don't know, it's just maybe it's because it's acoustic and all air, but still loud, that it's like, you know, like when you're in New Orleans, you hear a horn band, or you go to even like a brass quintet, whatever. It's so different.
I was 4th grade and we moved to Baton Rouge and lived there for 3 years. And so I got to go to New Orleans and hear that music, and my parents were cool about exposing us to all that, you know.
Zydeco in general?
Yeah, Cajun music and Zydeco as well. I mean, and I just remember like the washboard and the brass and like the rhythm of it, you know, like just really having a huge impression on me. And then just continue to listen to it, you know. And, yeah, the funky meters and stuff.
It's obviously had its influence on a lot of the music that you
totally.
guys are doing.
Share some common influences, and then also I think each person brings some other, you know, mesh of influence into the soup.
Do you feel it's easier to play together because you've known each other for so long?
Oh yeah, it's such a safe space, you know, like you're gonna do whatever you can to make the other person shine, you know. Yeah, it's an incredibly safe space to just experiment or do whatever. You're not gonna get torn down after the show. Be like, oh man, you're falling on your face tonight, you know. Like, no, they're gonna lift you up. Not gonna let you fall.
It's wild to think, like, you know, Matt, the new guy, I don't even know how long he's been in the band, you know, longer than most bands exist, you know, so we're really, I feel super lucky to have that kind of longevity in those relationships, you know.
That was wild. You know, we all got here and didn't know what to expect, and met 2 people that were putting us up in their house, John and Aaron, and they had Chicken Charlie come and pick us up at the airport in the back of his truck. We all piled in there, and basically that whole tour we just rode in the back of a pickup truck. Like, that was it. All of us and all of our gear, we just piled it all on there and going north side of Hope Bay and riding the ferry. And
sleeping even when we are awake.
We came down for too long, but we didn't know that. Because we got done, we were like, oh my God. It was like a month, you know. We did all the islands, terrible logistics. We didn't know anything. We were sleeping in terrible places. And it was awesome, but there's not been a lot of horn bands. And we were a big band per the island, And so like that helped just a little bit to be different than what was going on. We had some horns and it just wasn't, it was a States band. And so pretty quickly there was a decent crowd. Yeah, we were really lucky.
They're real good about not like overhyping something and like, oh, you're gonna have the best time ever, this is like the most killer place ever. They're like, oh, this is fun, and then you get here and you're just like, how'd you guys not just be like, this is gonna be the best thing in the history of the world? So yeah, it was good to like experience that whole thing. And I mean, I think we were down here for like over 3 weeks the first time I came, and I was like, all right, this is getting a little too close to realities are starting to blur here, you know. I might need to get back to.
That's an ass kicking.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So very soundly, heavy blankets soft and fine. We're so comfy, we're so cozy. Fat on bread, drunk on red wine. Outside, it's storming. The windy house, the windy place. Whoa, whoa. You know we cannot hear people, can't hear the people, can't hear the people, can't hear the people. They're left out in the night. Oh, humble yourself before the earth. Humble yourself before creation. Humble yourself before the earth. Humble yourself before the ocean. Humble yourself before the earth. Humble yourself before creation. Humble yourself before the earth. Humble yourself before the ocean. Before the ocean. The ocean. The ocean. Before the ocean. The ocean. The ocean. Creation. Before creation. Creation. Creation.
I mean, from the very first trip, we were really enjoying ourselves and taking advantage of the beach and the water, and yeah, and it still feels that way. It is a lot of work, you know, but it's really, really fun work.
I think the size of the community is really cool because you travel around and you tour all over, and you go to a big city and try and make a big impact, and then people gotta like hold that and remember until you get there a year later, or once, twice a year, whatever it is. But you come down here and like you make a big impact, and it's on a tight-knit group of people. When you come back, like it doesn't disappear, it's still there, you know. And then that just keeps growing and growing, and now it feels like a family affair. Yeah, it holds a big place in our heart as far as like all the relationships and friendships we made over the years, and people that come in and out of the island, you know, that were here or have come back. And
You can take one pill for your anxiety. You can watch TV to get your reality. You can mistake success for financial stability.
Cole and Ashley just had their first child, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Hell yeah.
That's right.
Yeah! First try!
There's the bar, there's the beach. There's the bar, there's the beach. There's the beach bar.
And you guys!
Circle is complete.
You know, the first year you're feeling everything out, and those guys, you know, they're like, oh, meet this person, meet that person, and you're gonna love this person and all that once you get down here. And then after you've come for a while, you're kind of doing that to other people, and you're like, oh, you got to meet this person, you know. And it's like you get like a little piece of it becomes you, you know.
I'm a mother's first guitar. Now it's friends I meet today. I just feel where the bodies were all but gone. So we're rolling life with the things along. Ain't crying for the folks who come to tell their jokes. Gotta fly back so they know. Here I go, these friends go to see. Everything's back on one hole.
Well, we spent 2 nights on St. Thomas on the way here, and got to surf a little bit on the north side there. Yeah, we didn't make the trip today. I think some of it, I was like, we just came yesterday. We're not going to go all the way back and then back again. But.
And on that note, you know, you came down a little bit early with your wife.
Yep.
I remember filming you guys before you were married.
Yeah, we were married 7 years ago, and we put out an album like around the same time that we got married, maybe the year before, and then we released a second album that kind of dropped right around the time of the pandemic, you know, when we were down here in March of 2020. And we actually kind of like all our work for the year sort of disappeared over the course of a couple weeks, and we just kind of sheltered in place for quite a while on the north side of St. Thomas until that spring. So we kind of went out west for a while. We spent a little time in South Carolina, and Sally and George were sort of slow finding its feet again, you know, and then Molly Tuttle called Shelby to see if she would play bass for her. And that's been an incredible 2 years for sure. Yeah.
You know, us sleeping on floors, and then having friends to stay with, and then having friends that were willing for us to bring our significant others down for a week. So like Jill would come down and we'd play for a week and then hang out for another week with friends afterwards and stuff. Yeah.
If I talk about my son too much, I'll probably start crying. Yeah, it's just basically never want to leave for more than 30 minutes ever again. Sweeping change. So, I mean, I'm like, I've wanted kids since I was 5, so it's unbelievable. I have a 21-year-old who is graduating college in May. Yeah. And then the 4-year-old is 4, and he's hilarious.
I was just one more selfish man over and over my heart. Over and over my heart. Over and over my heart.
Now everybody's just, whatever's good for everybody, whatever works, so that we can keep doing this and keep making it worthwhile for each other in whatever capacity that is, whether it's just the music or it's money. Or I can't imagine that we won't get back in the studio at some point. It's just a matter of getting everybody on the same page and where and how we're going to do it. But I think we're more of a studio is a strange beast, but we have a lot of fun live playing together.
I had to get my best friends in the world. Well, Vietnamese right for the song. But then I realized, hey man, you're probably not that strong. Over and over your heart. I'm at my breath and inspiration, you know, my entire world. Tell me what I should do, what I've done all wrong, when they're ripping me apart.
You guys clearly have known each other most of your lives. How important is it to you in the future of Soul Driven Train? that the friendships and the family that you guys have created and grown with and brought together still remains that. And would that be the only reason that you all would continue to keep playing?
Yeah, I mean, I make most of my other decisions in life work-wise and financially so that I can say yes to any opportunity to play together.
From the outside looking in, you guys always look like you're having a lot of fun and you enjoy one another's company. Are you proud of this band?
I am. Yeah, very much so.
This is the 14th year, but we've missed one or two in there.
Yeah.
I think just one, or maybe this is the... Anyways, 14, 15.
We haven't made it on a national level or anything like that, but you know, regionally and you know, sometimes it feels like we have. You know, you can define success in a lot of ways, I guess, you know, but the longevity of this band speaks for itself, I think.
I think a live album is probably the next thing, you know. It's like capturing what we do live, because I mean there's been like a little live DVD before my time, and then another live album, but yeah, there's something special about just the live performance. Like I was saying, when I first came and watched the band, it was like that's what pulled me in, you know. It's like we've been in a really good groove of playing too.
Well, so, albums are in, dude. Vinyl's in. Man.
Yeah, we didn't bring vinyls down here. We put one album on vinyl, and I just like, it's hard to even know if people are buying CDs or will they buy a double vinyl down here. I don't know how many, you know.
Yeah, it just seems to be coming in. I think you guys' music would be fantastic on it. You have an amazing, you know, discography of music.
We're you know, capturing some live shows, so we'll hope we get something that like passes everybody's mustard, you know, to release.
Perhaps, you know, we haven't talked about it too much. Everybody's kind of going there, you know, has their own thing going on right now, and things are, you know, pretty busy for everyone, I think.
I'm playing with this gal Maya DeVitri as a songwriter in Nashville. You know, Soul River Train's playing like 30 shows a year, and I'm playing maybe another 60 or so with Maya, 50 maybe.
Writing or just playing?
We haven't done any writing together. She's a tremendous writer. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. I think she did help me finish some of my songs. Yeah.
It is true about her being a tremendous writer.
Yeah, she really is. Yeah, yeah. And so I'm getting to travel with her a bunch this year. We're going to go to Europe, and we're going to go to the West Coast. We're going to be in the Southeast. So.
Yeah. I think I can speak for everyone whenever I say that we're all very grateful and thankful to be able to still come together and you know, make a sound that is known as Soul Driven Train.
We challenge you to have as much fun as we're having. If you do, it's gonna work.
Great, man. I hope it continues on really well. I mean, I'm so glad that you guys came over here. As I told you guys earlier, Ryan Balthrop says hello. He's a fan and friend of you guys.
Props to Ryan first guy that brought us to the VI.
Ryan will sit down with me in a couple of, maybe a month. He'll be back down. We've already talked about that. So
it's just been a chain of handoffs of good people down here for years and years. You know, we're just lucky to be coming back, for sure.
Well, it's the best way for us to get the best people to come down and hang out with us.
Heck yeah.
Right on. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
So that fine gentleman just brought us the refreshment is Bryan Austin, the one and only. He's a magical man. If you haven't met him, you should go talk to him. He keeps this machine running as smoothly as he possibly could, which is a full-time job.
We're just talking.
Easy peasy, ding dong squeezy.
For this is the province of combat, and these are the faces of war.
Hey, you ranking rude boy!